Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Sarah and in today's video we are going to be market prepping together. And I'm gonna first off say if my voice sounds funny, I kind of have a bit of a head cold situation going on, so I do apologize. I know personally it bugs me, so hopefully it doesn't bug you all too much. Also, second side note, I'm going to get a different ball of yarn because this one is a little bit too folly party for my liking. Today we'll be market prepping for a 3-day festival I have in mid-April, so that is about 2.5 months out. It's somewhere around 2.5 months out. I have a big goal to hit. I would like to hit $30,000 in monetary value, and I don't know if that's possible or not, so I have adjusted my goal to $25,000 for now, and hopefully I can get more than that. But $25,000 is the goal to hit. I'm currently at 16,000 something. I've made a pretty big dent in my last video, so over $1,000 worth of monetary value. So I'm hoping in this video I can accomplish the same thing, maybe even a little more. We'll see. But in today's video, I want to make jellyfish, which is what I'm working on right now. I'm making these pink ones here. They need their eyes still. I decided I'm going to be embroidering these eyes. I like the way the safety eyes look, but I find that a lot of young children really like the tentacles. So in order for them to be safe for all ages, I'm just going to embroider their eyes. I may end up just doing black embroidery and not adding any white, but we'll see how that looks once I finish a group of these guys. I'm planning on making 5 of each color, and I'll probably have around 8 colors. I am currently trying to use up my variegated yarn. In my last video I mentioned that I wanted to make dinos out of the variegated yarn, which I will still be doing, but I'm also going to be using them for the tentacles on the jellyfish. So whatever variegated yarn I end up using, I will be making the caps kind of to match the tentacles. I'm using Naughty Pony for the pink as the base for these guys, and then I'm using the Sue Snuggles Light in this pink yarn here. I find that most of this yarn falls apart really easily, so hopefully this ball of yarn is better than the last one. Also, the other thing I'm working on, I guess I should address the cow on the table. This is a Highland cow I decided to start working on Saturday. Yes, today's Monday. I started it Saturday. Normally I would have had this done, but I spent all day yesterday editing, so I didn't crochet pretty much at all yesterday. But for this guy, I just need to sew everything together. If you recall my snuggler in the last video, I had to make a laying down version of the snuggler. So I made this one, and I just knew that I had to use the rest of the yarn I had on hand to make a Heather the Highland cow instead, along with it, not instead. Today I'm just going to be sewing this together, so that won't take too long, but it's kind of hard to do that on camera while I'm talking with you all. So that is why I went back to my jellyfish. The last thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to release the Highland Cow snuggler. So I'm going to get the test appreciation together and get the pattern finalized and then release it this afternoon. I'm going to work on that as much as I can and get it out there. I think it's so cute, especially with the extra large burnout blanket version I made. I just can't wait to release this pattern. It's so cute. And that is everything I have for you, so I will check in with you probably tomorrow, but I don't know, maybe later today, we'll see. Dare I say, I actually feel a little bit better today, and I've only been sick for about 3 days, so hopefully that means that whatever this is going to go away very, very quickly. But I have a few things that I want to update you on. For not feeling very great, I did get quite a few things done today. I finished this Highland cow. I started sewing this guy together yesterday, and then I finished him today. I did the head portion today. I gotta say, I love this pattern. This is Heather the Highland Cow. She's my larger Highland Cow pattern. Super huggable. If you need a huggable cow pattern, this is the one. But sewing on all the curls is a bit of a chore because for this cow, normally what I would do is I would put pieces on and just attach them. So for example, I'd put the ear on and then attach the other ear, horn, and then the curls. But for this guy specifically, this pattern, I end up having to pin everything on first to make sure there's enough space for the curls, and then while I'm working on it, I'm still pinning it and kind of just tacking the curls down as evenly as possible. But it is worth it for the super curly Highland cow effect. This guy is nice and large, super snuggly, probably one of the only ones I'll make in burnout blanket for this festival, but I don't know, I'll have to go through what I have left. My goal is to not buy any more burnout blanket unless I have a very specific project in mind and the texture is really nice, because I know when the texture's bad I just don't want to work with it. So this is this guy finished. So now I have a total of 4 extra large Highland cows. This is a larger size because of the burnout blanket, so this guy I will be charging a lot more for. This is one thing that I finished. I also started working on some larger jellyfish today because I really didn't feel like making smaller ones. So here's the first one that I made. I ended up making the tentacles in the same way that I make my larger jellyfish pattern, the free tutorial on my YouTube channel. And I made all of the tentacles. I decided to add these little longer straight ones as well because I thought adding a little bit more to this would make it sell better. Plus, a lot of people confuse my jellyfish for octopus or octopi, so I wanted to kind of make this one more jellyfish-like. I made the pattern the way I normally do. So for that pattern, the stitch count is 36 stitches around, I believe, at the widest part, and when I did that, it really wasn't big enough, so I ended up tweaking the pattern and making it about 48 stitches around. Hopefully I'm doing the math right. But at that point I had already made the underside here, so this is 24 stitches. Long story short, I feel like it pinches down a little bit too much, so I started another one with a larger base. So that's this guy here. I know it's kind of hard to tell because it's obviously not done, but I am going to work on this probably tonight / tomorrow. I actually have to pick testers for my kitty pattern, so I will be doing that, and then we'll see about crocheting. I do have some YouTube videos I need to catch up on. 2 things to note. These eyes are from Traveling Pony Studios. They are beautiful. I will get a glamour shot and put it on the screen now so y'all can see them in better lighting. I thought these white or whiter eyes would be perfect with the tentacles, and I really do think they work. Also want to note that I made these longer thin pieces by making a chain of however long and then slip stitching back down the back hump of the chain, and then I just attached them like the tentacles. So I tied them to the base, and that way it's low sew. I will also note that I ended up reinforcing the tentacles on my smaller ones by sewing them on a little bit more. Just for some reason, I think it was this yarn more specifically, it just felt a little bit less secure. So you could always do that, and I recommend you doing that if you feel uncomfortable with the tentacles. If they don't feel tight enough, then definitely reinforce them. I am gonna work on this darker purple one eventually, but I do have to say this texture difference between the 2 yarns is really nice. This is Posh Pearl or Baby Bear. It's just really nice. I think it's turning out really nice for these jellyfish. I don't know, maybe there'll be an extra large jellyfish from me soon, but we'll just have to see how the second one looks before I decide on writing any patterns up. One I have up on my YouTube channel is still a great pattern. I just wanted something a little bit bigger, that way I could, you know, have slightly more pricier jellyfish on the table. The last thing I wanted to talk about was this mini bee. I mentioned this in a previous video. This is Buttercup the bee, except miniaturized. Everything about it is smaller, like the actual stitch count is smaller on this guy, but there was so much sewing involved with this. That's why I haven't pursued releasing the pattern yet, because I just know that nobody in their right mind will want to sew 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces on such a small project. So I'm planning on making this lower sew. I don't want to say low sew because I think the wings and the stinger will have to still be sewn on separately, but I think I can get it so that the legs are crocheted in, and I think it'll still look nice if I do that. So I'm gonna give it a try. I'm not gonna work on it right this second though, just because I have to do the kitty tester call. I want to get that pattern situated a little bit more before starting another one, but this pattern will eventually be out, and I'll likely have a YouTube tutorial on it as well, which will be free with the written pattern in my shop, but I have 0 timeline as of this moment. Maybe later in this video I'll have more of a plan, but for now I just want to focus on getting this pattern to a point where I feel like it's good to write up. That was a long update. I had a lot of things I wanted to talk about, obviously. I am going to check in with you later when I have a lot more interesting things to talk about again. I don't have a lot to update you on because I didn't do much today, and by much I mean I really didn't do anything. I spent all of my morning, and it's 5:17 in the afternoon, and all of that time doing a whole bunch of chores around the house. And actually technically it's outside the house, but I got a bunch of stuff done outside of crochet, so that's good. But I figured I'll update you anyways. Last night I finished this jellyfish guy right here. I really love how this one turned out with the different decreases here. So the body, I guess it's kind of a head, but you know, the jellyfish portion just looks better on this guy in my opinion. Plus the tentacles sit a lot nicer than these ones. On this one they kind of just get caught up in between or the other way around, but with this guy they all kind of just have their own little space. Probably could have shortened the length on these guys right here, but I still think this one is really cute for second try. But I already have the colors picked out for a next one, which will be a blue one. This will be the cap color, the tentacles, and then the longer, skinnier, straight tentacles. That's the word. But I'm thinking I might work on a pattern for this. I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot of jellyfish patterns out there that's kind of in the same shape, so I don't want to like accidentally copy someone, but I don't know, we'll see. I haven't looked at anything really. I'm about to admit something here. I don't really keep up a whole lot with the more popular creators, which I try my best because I feel like it's, you know, a good idea to know what's going on. But I don't know, I just get distracted and I kind of like to focus on my own thing too. So these beautiful eyes are from Traveling Pony Studios. I was going to use a Sweet Beans crochet eyes, but they had butterflies in them, which is so cute, but I feel like that requires a dragon, you know. So I ended up with these ones, and I think they're really beautiful for a jellyfish especially. I feel like it kind of gives ocean, but I'll do the same thing. I'll put a glamour shot on there for you of both eyes so you can see them, but they are beautiful. They are 25mm too. I should probably note that. The other thing I wanted to talk about was my snuggler pattern. I have an idea. My unicorn snuggler pattern I was planning on releasing first before any other snuggler to kind of keep up with the theme of New Year. Unicorn pattern is the first thing I release, but I just didn't do that this time for a lot of reasons. But the main reason is that my color choice for the snuggler for pattern photos, I didn't really like it that much, so I kind of procrastinated a whole lot making that. But last night I had a huge hit of inspiration. I just found Baby Bear in cream at Michael's, and then I also have this gold in Baby Bear and some pink. So I'm thinking cream base, gold features, and then a pink mane and tail, and it's going to be the cutest unicorn snuggler ever. I have been inspired and I will be taking pattern photos shortly-ish. Hopefully in this video we'll see. I also, kind of a spoiler, but I really want to make a extra large snuggler like the Highland Cow, the orange one I made, but a unicorn, and do the same thing. So like pink mane and tail, gold and cream out of burnout blanket. It'll be huge. It'll be gorgeous. So I'm thinking I'll do that. I have all the eyes I need for it anyways, so I can really pick the best eye to match the hair. I'm not there yet. We'll be there eventually, but we're not there yet. I think that's all I have for you at this point, so I will check in with you probably tomorrow. I'm gonna have a kind of busy day tomorrow, so we'll just have to see what happens. But I'm gonna work on another jellyfish tonight and kind of get this pattern situated. The only problem I'm having with it is getting this decrease round to make sense. I don't mind it when a round is complicated because you just take it step by step, but I always like my patterns to be as easy to understand as possible, so I usually do like a certain amount of increases or decreases and keep it, you know, a multiple of 6, but I don't know, we'll see about this. I'm gonna work on it a little bit more, play around with the stitch counts a little bit more so that it's easier to actually write out. I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna work on this a little bit more today. That's the update for now, so I'll just check in with you tomorrow morning, maybe. We'll see. Like I said, busy day, so we'll see what happens. I'm in my car and I'm filming on my phone, so if the audio and the video quality is not there, that is why. But I wanted to update you while I'm sitting here alone in the car waiting. I'm currently crocheting my other jellyfish. I did not start it at all yesterday, so this is all I have done. But I wanted to show you all something that when you're crocheting a chain like this and doing slip stitches, the best way to even out your stitches is to just stretch it. It's kind of hard to do it one-handed. I would do it two-handed, but I have to hold the phone. You pretty much just take each end and you pull it really, really tight. Not only does it straighten it out so it doesn't curl anymore, but it makes all of the stitches
stitches a lot more even. It just evens everything out. So I thought I'd give that little tip real quick while I'm just sitting here doing nothing. I'm gonna get to crocheting and we'll just see how far I get. We'll just see. That is my very minor update. I'll check in with you soon. The desk is empty, which is kind of weird, but I have an update for you. Finished a blue jellyfish. This one right here. I don't know if I mentioned this one at all. I think I talked about the colors, but I didn't show any of the process. No, that's not true. I took a clip of me in my car. I say that out loud so that when I edit this video, I will remember that I took that clip on my phone, because half the time when I do that, I completely forget that I filmed it. But anyways, I also made a green one, kind of like a minty daiquiri kind of green. Super cute though. And I used these beautiful eyes from Sweet Beans Crochet. This is one of the newer sets she sent me. So pretty. I love it. Perfect for this jellyfish with all the different colors in it. And then of course I have the 2 purple ones I've made. So I have a total of 4. I plan on making a lighter blue one for sure, just to have a little bit of variety, and then I might make another green one, but we'll see. I definitely want to have a couple more. The issue I'm having though is that I don't really have a lot of 25mm to choose from, so I'm kind of torn on that. On top of the jellyfish, I also made some axolotls today, 3 of them to be exact, in this colorway. Peach and plum. It's darker on camera. I love this color combo. It's super pretty. I made 3 total and I will be making 2 more. The problem I'm running into with these guys is that I'm running out of this eye size. So I think I may go ahead and order some more eyes. The problem is I get them in bulk and I don't really need any other eye sizes right now. So maybe I'll look and see if I can find just these eyes on their own. That is what I've been working on. I also started the unicorn snuggler pattern, so this will be the next pattern I release in the beginning of February. I was going to work on the little bee, but I'm going to do the little bee at the end of February, so it has not been forgotten. I will work on that pattern. But I really wanted to make this unicorn now that I have the baby bear in cream and in gold, so that is what I'm doing kind of off and on. I also would love to release this jellyfish pattern, but I'm probably not going to worry about that right this second, just because I want to get some more 25mm eyes. I am running low on color options. So I am going to go ahead and finish these axolotls probably tomorrow, this colorway at least. I'm waiting for an order from Naughty Pony for the blue axolotls, and then I would like to come up with at least 1 more color. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is color 5, and then the blue ones will make 6. Maybe I don't need another color, but we'll see what happens. I would love to have 8 axolotls on the table, 8 different colors, but I don't know if I can come up with some creative colors for them, so that's it. I'll check in with you soon. Today I didn't do much. I just started working on the unicorn snuggler a bit more. I finished the head. Not so funny story, I had to remake the ears, so I crocheted them, took pattern photos, joined them on, reinforced them, and then I finally realized that they weren't the right shape. So that was very annoying. I was very tempted to just leave them that way, but I took them off and I remade them to be a little pointier. What happened was I used the same ear pattern that I used for the Highland cow and the regular cow. I thought it would be fine, but it was in fact not fine. I took that apart and remade it. So the ears make a lot more sense for a unicorn. I think they're super cute, so it was worth it. I also finished the legs, so all I have left to make, there's still quite a bit left to make now that I think about it, but body and mane and tail. So not too bad. I'm gonna get on that probably tomorrow, because tonight I'm going to edit as much as humanly possible because I filmed a video yesterday about crochet stitches. So I wanted to talk to you about this yesterday, but I wasn't working on anything, so hold on a second. Alright, I'm working on a 4th axolotl. I filmed a video on crochet stitches, so 2 things. Hopefully my voice doesn't sound too bad in that. I really want to put a video out this weekend. I've been very consistent releasing. Even if it might be a few days late, I still release every week, so I don't want to just not do that just because I don't sound that great. I haven't even looked at the footage yet. That's the other thing is that I really need to edit today, and hopefully, I don't know, maybe I'll be able to finish it tonight. It's not the longest video in the world, which is good. It's a video on crochet stitches, so the point of it is more like an encyclopedia where it just kind of shows how to do those stitches, not super slowly but also not super quickly. So it's like if you are an intermediate, or if you put the crochet down for a few months and you just need a refresher, that's there. Or if you're a beginner and you just want to know the abbreviations plus how to do a stitch, it'll also be in there. It's not really meant to be a beginner's guide, like I said, more like a refresher for people who have already crocheted. I actually think I'm going to make this a mini series, maybe like 3-4 episodes, depending on how many stitches there are that I feel like I need to show. But, you know, it'd be nice to have just a basic stitch tutorial that I know is good. Like I have the crochet foundation series, but that's more like techniques and less about specifically crochet stitches. A couple of them are on specific stitches, but I don't really have anything on, you know, single crochet, slip stitches, chains, all that stuff in a cohesive video. Anyways, that video will probably not do very well. I feel like a lot of my audience, you guys already know how to crochet, but maybe it'll do well over time. But I needed something for this weekend, so I have something now. It may not be the most interesting thing in the world, but I figured it is long due that I have a video on crochet stitches on my channel, because obviously I make patterns both free for sale, tutorials, all that, so should be pretty helpful, hopefully. But I'm gonna edit that this evening and hopefully get it mostly finalized, if not finished tonight. Like I said, it's not very long, but I do have a lot of ideas for editing it to make it more interesting. I also need to post on Instagram today. I haven't done that, but I will say that I have been very successful posting every day on Instagram. It is a little bit difficult right now because I'm not making a lot of different items between each of my market vlogs. I think I might need to start mixing things up a little bit. I was also thinking maybe applying to some tester calls. We shall see on that as well. But I'm thinking if I do that, then I can just share those posts on release, so that'll give me more content for Instagram. I'm gonna put the axolotl down, finish these guys probably tomorrow as well. Hopefully finish the unicorn snuggler tomorrow as well. How many times have I said as well so far? Way too many. That's all I have for you. For now, at least. I have to, like I said, I gotta go edit photos, edit videos, so that's what I'm gonna do this evening, and I will check in with you tomorrow, most likely. I have an update for you, and I'm gonna be quick but thorough because I still haven't posted on Instagram. It's late and I need so much sleep, hopefully enough sleep that whatever this is that I have just disappears by the time I wake up. That's the hope, at least. First thing is that I finished the unicorn snuggler I was working on for pattern photos. I am not sure how I feel about the hair. I feel like it's super cute, but also at the same time I need it to be longer. I like that you can either make it straight or curly depending on what you're making. I really wanted this pattern to be usable for a horse, just a regular horse as well. So I'm thinking I'll need to make a horse or two and maybe finish with the hair, finalizing it, testing it. To be honest, I enjoyed this more than making... Just got 10,000 steps sitting here. What did I do to get 10,000 steps, seeing as I don't feel very good? I had to scrape my driveway. Yeah, it was kind of a huge mess. Plus, I did some very light walking, I will admit. 2 miles on my treadmill. Very light. I have given up all strenuous exercise this week, so I really wanted to start back up tomorrow, but we'll just have to see how I end up feeling. Okay, that was a total side note, but back to the unicorn. I'm gonna work on this guy a little bit more. This is kind of why I wanted to work on him early. I guess technically she's a she, right? 'Cause she's got pink hair. I'm gonna work on the unicorn, finalize it, whatever, we'll see. You'll see. I also worked on my axolotls today, and I finished the orange and plum ones, or the peach and plum ones, whatever. So I had a total of 5 of them. I also received my Naughty Pony yarn. It's nothing special. Light blue, pink, and some brown. So now that I've received this yarn, I'm going to be working on the blue axolotls and finishing maybe potentially all the axolotls. I don't know, we'll see. It kind of depends because I would love to have more colors on the table, but I just don't know if I have the color ideas. That's really the big thing, is I'm not sure what colors I want to use yet. So I'm going to decide on that once these blue ones are finished. I also really need to go back to making the smaller jellyfish. I haven't even really touched that since I talked with you at the very beginning of this video. So I'm gonna work on the blue axolotls, get them finished, and hopefully eventually get to the little jellyfish before this video is officially over. I also think I'm going to release a video tonight while I'm posting on Instagram because I want to sleep in tomorrow. Normally I release in the morning because the videos end up doing better in the morning. I don't know what it is. I think I have you all trained or something. I think I'm gonna release it tonight just because I don't want to fuss with it in the morning. I would like to get a little bit of extra sleep, and I'm gonna stop talking because it makes me want to cough and I hate coughing. I'm gonna check in with you tomorrow. I think I need to get some clips for a little music section, so I'll probably do that and then check in with you eventually. Yesterday I crocheted this axolotl. Obviously it still needs gills. I literally didn't do anything else. I don't know if you could tell or not by the way I sound, but I feel absolutely terrible. So I'm hoping I feel better in the next few days, but I've just been trying to rest more than crochet on top of the fact that I am in the snowstorm. So I've been outside for 2 days straight scraping ice off my driveway, which has been the complete opposite of fun. The idea of snow is so much greater than actually taking care of it. So that's probably why I have been feeling worse and worse instead of better, but somebody had to do it. I'm done being distracted here. We're looking at these plushies because somebody decided to order a plushie from me. Hasn't happened in a while, so thank you so much for your order. I'm sorry it's a little delayed. I haven't been able to leave my house since Saturday, and I just finally was able to leave today. That's how bad our driveway was. So I will ship it out in the morning, but it's a plushie in this bin over here. It's a cow plushie left over from my festival. So let's go get the plushie out, and then I also have to make a mini bee to go with it. Not too long ago, I bought this pink tissue paper for packages, for orders that is, because I thought it would be a little bit more fun than the cream colored one I was using. So this is the first time I've actually been able to use it, so that's very exciting. Thank you so much for your order. I'm gonna get this all ready to go on for the online stuff. I still get the label printed at the post office through eBay's QR code, just because it's a little bit easier than printing and taping it on the box. I mean, yes, I could get a sticker printer, but up until pretty recently, I just couldn't justify the purchase, especially with orders slowing as much as they did. It's really a good thing that I didn't order a sticker printer. If orders start to pick up again, I might order a sticker printer and have it on hand for labels, but as of this moment, getting the QR code and printed at the post office isn't too difficult. So that is the box all ready to go. I don't know how much crocheting I'll be able to get done. While I was crocheting that bee, I was crocheting kind of extra slow because my hands hurt from using the shovel on our driveway today. So I am tired, sore all over. Enough complaining from me. I am going to check in with you probably tomorrow. Hopefully I managed to crochet some stuff today because I really want to get some things done, like the axolotls. I feel like I'm this close to being finished. Life has been lifing outside of crochet. It's so lame. Alright, I'll check in with you tomorrow. Okay, everything's a little messy, but I wanted to update you super quickly on my axolotls. I ended up making 3 of these blue ones, so I still have 2 left to make, that is. These guys right here. I plan on switching it up though and working on the horse snuggler because I want to do a unicorn and a horse snuggler in one pattern, so that's what I'm gonna be working on today. Like I said, super quick update because I gotta go downstairs, but I'll check in with you later with a way more detailed update. It is a time for the final update in today's video. I have a couple things I want to talk to you about that I didn't talk to you about recently just because, as you all know, I haven't been feeling very good and I've just been kind of trying to survive. But I started working on a couple new designs. As you know, I'm working on the unicorn snuggler again, this cutie right here. And I also decided that I wanted to make the unicorn snuggler a horse snuggler too. And this isn't finished, just as a proper warning before I show it to you. But here's the head finished, and it's just a regular horse with the blaze, of course. Super cute. I am putting a couple different hairstyles into the pattern, or at least I'm planning on doing that. This is all going to be low sew, so the only thing you have to sew on for this pattern would be the head and the horn if you're making a unicorn. So these are all surface crocheted on, and they're done by making a long chain, and then you turn the head and spin it and spin it and spin it until the chain has a super tight curl. I think I'm gonna have to do a video on it just because it's kind of hard to explain in writing, but that's how I did the curly hair. And then I also want to be able to have a straight hair version, so you just chain and slip stitch. My only concern with that was that depending on the age of the kid, maybe those loops would be a little bit too dangerous. But I'm also working on a short hair version as well, so if you want to make a horse with like trimmed hair, could be really cute too. So there's gonna be a couple different options, and with the shorter hair I could technically do a donkey as well with different ear shapes. I think that could work. So I haven't fully decided. Maybe I'll make this like a 3-in-1 pattern instead of just a 2-in-1. But I'm working on the horse, and I'm also working on the tail to get it no sew as well. I'm still kind of experimenting with that. For the sake of today's video, I will be counting this project as finished just because I will be finishing it over the next couple of days, if not even today. So I'll count it as finished for the total. But that is one project I was working on. The other project I started working on again is the mini bee. This guy right here. So this is a smaller version of Buttercup. When I originally made this one, every piece of it is sewn on, which is so much work, and it's going to be difficult to price something like this unless I figure out a way to make it a little bit easier to make. So I was experimenting. So here's this one where none of the pieces are sewn on, they're all crocheted in, and then the only thing you have to sew on are the wings and then the stinger if you want to make a stinger. Also, these stitches are a lot tighter than up here, so that's kind of why the head looks so gigantic on this one, where it looks a little bit more even on this one. 99% certain these are the same size. I'm going to finish this one and then make a few more to kind of test the leg placement a little bit more. I feel like they could be a little bit more together at the bottom, if that makes sense. So that they sit a little bit better. I'm going to work on this pattern. This will be the second pattern I release in February, so I have a few weeks to work on this, finalize it and everything. I'm going to do the unicorn snuggler first because it's closer to being finished, and I know with the bee, I want to make at least 3 or 4 more just to really experiment and finalize. Also, I didn't realize how much of a mess my desk is right now, so that whole spiel was, oh well. it is what it is. The last thing I'm going to update you on before I give you my total is that I'm working on a dilute Siamese, or at least something that looks kind of like that, for pattern release day for my extra large kitty pattern. It will be out on the 31st. Today is the 30th, which means I need to finish this pattern today, this plushie today. So that's what I'm going to be working on and getting finished. I also need to go through and finalize the pattern. I kind of made a mistake though with the pattern in that I didn't look at the actual days of the week before deciding on release day. So I should have known not to release on a Saturday because Friday, Saturday I'm busy. You know, it's just something that I'm going to have to deal with and make sure I get that pattern out. I think that's all the updates I have. So now we just need to talk about the market recap. My market prep recap, that's the word I'm missing. I am going to count the blue axolotls as finished. I still have to make 2 more, but I'm going to do those over the weekend as well. So I'm going to count those as done just because it'll be easier for me to keep track of everything if they are counted as finished, but not the kitty. The kitty we'll save for the next video. Alrighty, so everything that I finished an extra large Highland cow, which was the Burnett blanket one I made, and then I also finished those 4 jellyfishes, so the big ones. I'm not going to be counting the pink ones that I showed you in the very beginning because they're still not finished. I'm going to work on those eventually again, but like I said, I won't count those because they're still not done. I finished the unicorn snuggler, the horse snuggler, and then 10 axolotls. So in total over the last couple weeks I made 16 items, which is pretty low for me, I will be honest, but as we all know, you've watched this entire video to the end, we all know that I have felt terrible pretty much the entire time. So I'm just glad that I got literally anything finished. I will take it. Monetary value wise, I ended up making $640 and add that to my total monetary value, just over 17,000. At least we're in the 17,000s. That's really good. For item count, I have 571 items. Now I'm doing monetary value more than items because, you know, every item can be a different number, but monetary value kind of gives you something a little bit more substantial, at least in my opinion. I have a bonus clip for you for a couple reasons. First one is this video isn't that long to begin with, but also I received some eyes from Traveling Pony Studios and I have to show them off. I can't wait 2 weeks to show them off. First thing I want to show you are the Patreon safety eyes. So I signed up for her Patreon and she sent me the January eyes. These are so pretty. I got a 30mm, 25, and then 20mm, and they're all super pretty orangey gold shades. What I really want to show you are these 40mm eyes I received from Carrie. Look at how massive they are. They're so gorgeous. She actually sent these to me as a Christmas gift, so thank you so much, Carrie. I love them. They are stunning. I cannot wait to use them. I'm not going to tell you what I'm using them for yet. I'm sure you guys could probably have some great guesses, but I also still have to market prep, so I need to make sure I'm doing that. Here's one of the eyes though. Let's get back to the video. That is everything I have for you. I have to go rest my voice because I'm so tired. I need a good old nap or something. I don't know. Make sure to check out my coffee shop if you haven't already. I have a discount code. Type in single crochet in all caps at checkout and you'll get 10% off your total order. Thank you to everyone who's been using that code. It's actually really amazing to see that there are so many people who watch my videos to the end. Thank you so much for being here, for watching to the end. I want to do something a tiny bit different with the emojis this time. So if you watched all the way to the end, comment a heart emoji but in your favorite color. So whatever heart emoji is your favorite color, comment it. I'd love to know. And that is officially all I have for you. I will check in with you and with my next market vlog. Hopefully I'm 100% better and I don't get sick at all anymore until my actual festival day. That's the hope. Until after my actual festival day. Maybe I should say that too. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Thank you for all your support and I will see you in my next video, which again I have no idea what that'll be, but it will be something, hopefully. And I will check in with you then. Bye!